Oh boy, okay.
Sorry, 4 pieces.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so it's for something or other. I think we can go ahead and start the meeting. I'm so sorry we didn't. It's 4:01, and here you are, Leah. Cool. We're gonna. Has everybody taken a look at the? Oh, we need to do the. We have to take roll call. You want to go through that? Ask everybody to say their names and stuff while I do this.
Start with you.
Michelle Nasco, president, here.
Debbie Nowak Hawks, member. Director.
Leah Heath here.
Profundo.
Nolan Halta, vice president.
Kathy Peterson, board member.
Kathy Smith, member.
Bonnie Butler, social media and hospitality.
Darlene.
Darlene Roker, exhibits committee.
All right.
Okay, I'm looking for my, see now that because I'm using the screen, I have to get to something else to get my, yeah.
It's kind of like what I make,
Let's
No.
save the ocean.
not with the closure, but
Yeah. It's
it's macrame.
for the ocean group.
Macrame.
They clean up so much. If you buy one for $25, they're worth 50 cents. They clean up so many pounds.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, do you want to, you have the agenda? Could you, okay, has everybody, walk everybody, if you would
I can
walk
show you
through.
mine.
Is there any extra copies? I'll take it. No, that's all right. I can look at it online.
Okay.
Oh, and Aaron is here.
Hi, Erin.
Hello,
Erin.
Erin
Yeah.
Gopra.
An Irish name. Go with it. Holiday.
Oh. Go
What are you looking for?
Agenda.
Is this the same one that I printed out?
That's Nolan's thing.
Yeah, is this?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one. Yeah.
I don't see any copies of the agenda.
I have mine.
I have mine.
Yeah, and I don't see it either. I requested a bunch of them since we don't have the ink to do it. They're, the people over at the Solar Graphics usually do that for me, but I don't see it here, so my
Ink is
apologies.
so expensive right now.
Yeah, it's better to go with theirs. Yeah. Okay, I'd like you to handle the, talking about the minutes and whatnot while I still look for my agenda.
Well,
We
don't
have to formalize, has everybody looked at the minutes? Do I have a motion? Then we discussion if there are any changes, and then second the motion to go ahead and do it, and then, hi. Lorna. Hi. So Lorna's here also, great. Good to see you.
Well,
Hi, Lorna.
does anyone have the minutes?
I sent
they're
them.
on here.
I have the minutes. I just looked at them.
Okay, would anybody like to make a motion that we review the minutes?
I motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, so let's look at the, are there any comments on the minutes?
No.
Does everybody want to approve them? Let's make a vote if there's no comments on them.
Yes, wait, March 17th, yes.
Sure, thank you.
I didn't see any problems with the agenda, with the minutes.
Okay.
I'll move to accept them as written.
Thank you. Motion passes. So
No, I
let's
need
gonna
a second
I second.
and then a vote.
all in favor?
I.
Opposed? Nope. Okay, it passes. We're gonna accept the minutes as read, as not read, but as done.
As written.
So the next thing, what I was going to do is go into my president's report. However, because we have a guest,
Yeah.
we have Leah here from Fundo, and that you would like to make a presentation on what you do. So I will give you 10 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. So
I brought our newsletter. I printed it out. I did not print a bunch because, as all of us have agreed, ink is really expensive. So I was just going to go over it real fast with you guys. But if you actually sign up for our newsletter on our website, you guys will get it once a month. I send it out on the first of every single month. And it just basically has all of our news and talks about how you guys can start earning money for Buenaventura Arts Association. So Fundo is a nonprofit that fundraises for other nonprofits. And the way that we work is we have local businesses who pay to be a part of our network. Hello! Local businesses pay to be a part of our network. They pay a monthly membership, and that money goes into the bank. And then when any of our nonprofits refer business to the sponsors, they get money for their nonprofit. So we assign Fundo to each transaction, and the rules of engagement are actually found in the newsletter. And there's lots and lots of different ways to earn Fundo. And then at the end of the year, we have our awards breakfast where we actually issue checks for your performance within the program. So the more referrals you pass out for our various sponsors, or the more you participate in the program, the more money you get at the end of the year. And you're essentially competing against the other nonprofits that have also joined, and everyone is trying to be the one to refer the most business to the sponsor so they can get the most money out of the pot. Some very simple ways to earn Fundo is you share this newsletter with all of your members, so you just forward it, and then all of the people that have signed up for your newsletter end up getting our newsletter. RSVPing on our website, that gives you 50,000 Fundo right there. And then reading the newsletter and finding the secret word and telling us a secret word on the day of the meeting will get you 10,000 Fundo dollars. And let's see here. I just want to tell you guys all the different ways that you can participate so that you guys can make the most out of your membership and get the most money. You have already done a lot more than some of our other clubs, to be honest.
Thank you, Nolan.
So thank you. Yes.
We have over 2,400,000 and some thousand.
2 million, beautiful. Yep. And I've also decided I'm going to issue you Fundo for sharing our posts and commenting on our posts. So that's super exciting. A lot of our other clubs haven't caught the social media wave yet, and so you guys are already ahead for that one. So here are the rules of engagement for participating in Fundo. For those of you who just walked in, Fundo is a nonprofit organization that fundraises for other nonprofits.
Yes,
It's
I'm aware of you.
You are? Okay, good.
Yes.
She's heard of us. Yay.
That's why I wanted to be here early.
Oh, good. Yay.
And then Santa Barbara happened.
Oh, and then Santa Barbara. So first thing to earn Fundo is attend our monthly meetings. When we have at least 10 members show up, we give you an additional 50,000 Fundo dollars. But per every person that shows up to one of the meetings, you get $10,000 per member. And if you have 10 members, we give you an additional 50,000 Fundo. And if you have 15 members that show, we give you another additional 50,000 Fundo on top of the 10K per person that shows up. Yes.
What is a Fundo dollar worth?
Well, there's different increments. So we have 10,000 Fundo, and then we have 100,000 Fundo.
Okay.
Do you have Fundo on you right now by any chance?
Yeah.
So what is it worth when it translates to actual money at the end of the year? It's based on a percentage of the overall Fundo that has been accumulated from all of the nonprofits. So if, let's say, 1 million Fundo dollars have been earned throughout all the nonprofits, whatever percentage Buenaventura Club has...
Art Association.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Whatever percentage you have attributed to that is the percentage of the money in the bank that you guys will get at the end of the year. So
it's divided up between the nonprofits.
Mhm. So we calculate the total amount of Fundo, and then I assign you a percentage. So you did 50% of the accumulated Fundo throughout the year. You're getting 50% of the pot. Yes.
You said something about performance and competing with groups. Are you competing, would we be competing with the same size group or with all the groups?
With all the groups. So
So a small group has a disadvantage?
Yes and no. So at the end of the year, I always give out my Small But Mighty Award because we have one group, they only have about 3 members that attend. It's the Channel Islands Order of the Eastern Star, and they contribute a substantial amount because they have other people that don't necessarily attend. They have other people referring business to the sponsors. So as long as you guys are actively having your communities engage with our sponsors, so let's say you're going to church every Sunday, or you're going to temple, and one of your neighbors says, I really need a plumber. She's like, I have the most perfect person. Why don't you use him? And then if you can, when you get your invoice, will you please make sure that I have a copy so that my nonprofit can get funding? So the more you network like that and the more you become the sales force for our sponsors, the more money Buenaventura Art Club is going to get, association.
And I had one other question.
But you said the,
When we do start
so these
resending
are
a
some of the,
regular newsletter,
the members of Fundo.
I would assume that some members wouldn't mind getting an extra newsletter from your group, and some would take umbrage that we have shared their email with an outside group. Those members that say, no, I don't want to get that newsletter, does that hurt us? Because there will be some that say, I don't want, I signed up for BAA, I didn't sign up for X, Y, and Z.
So I will never send a newsletter to anyone who is not signed up for it. So I don't want anyone's email if they're not wanting it.
So we would have to ascertain which of our members would want the newsletter.
This is what some of our other members do, or other clubs, is they copy and paste our sponsors' information into their own newsletter, and they say, please, if you need any of these types of services, please let us know if you've used them and give us the receipts because we receive money. And that way, you're still sharing the sponsors, because that's our intention. We don't want you to just share the newsletter. We want you to share the sponsors so that if any of your members use the services, you guys are going to get money for your nonprofit. So essentially, you guys are participating in the program, which means you're inviting your members to participate for funding.
Okay.
Would you move your sparkling lychee fizzy can? Thanks. I just, it's in the way of the camera.
Lychee.
Lychee,
Like
whatever.
lychee, whatever.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna, and again, this is in the newsletter. So if you guys would like to sign up for the newsletter, you can go to fundo.org. If you go on your phone, it's super simple. Fun, like we put the fun and making dough, DOUGH.org. You scroll down to the very, very bottom, and at the very bottom, there's the little form that you can fill out. You put your email, your name and your email, and then you have to check the box saying you want to receive emails from us. So you have to do that, otherwise it's not going to subscribe you. And that gives us permission to send you stuff.
Do we get some Fundo for that?
For subscribing to the newsletter?
Yes.
That's a good question.
How do we
Probably
get
not,
Fundo?
because I already have 200 people that are signed on to the newsletter and they never receive Fundo.
Oh.
And so I have to make it fair for everybody.
We're not special.
But you do,
Yes, we
you do
are.
get Fundo if you share our sponsors in your newsletter. So
Oh, gotcha.
you will get Fundo for that. And when you do that, just make sure that you include me in your newsletter so I see that you shared our sponsors in your
Look
newsletter. That's how
and
you can do
pass.
that. Another way is, you guys have already done that, hosting a Fundo meeting. When you provide the refreshments, you get $1 million Fundo for hosting, and then you get 500 Fundo for anyone who shows up and helps out. So you helped out, I gave you an additional Fundo for that. Another way to earn Fundo, which you will earn that today, is by having a sponsor come and present at your meetings. And so you get 1 million Fundo, and then you get an additional 10,000 Fundo for every single person who shows up to the meeting and heard the sponsor present, which is
Very good.
fun. If you bring in new sponsors for us, and if they pay to be a sponsor, in the newsletter I say after 6 months of paid fees, but if they pay to become a sponsor, I will give you 1 million Fundo dollars.
What does a sponsor fee cost?
It is a little different for everybody, and I usually will discuss that directly with them. The going rate is $100 a month. Some of them are paying less, just because they're smaller organizations. But I usually, like, if they tell me, oh, I can't pay that much, it's like, okay, well, what else can you do? Like, can you give out? I can maybe give you a discount, but I would like you to give off a raffle every single meeting. You know, like, So I'm happy to work with sponsors if the money's too much, but I also remind them that this is a nonprofit, and so the money's actually going towards
you
other
need
nonprofits.
my notes?
Sounds like a
Roll
great
call.
idea.
It's so fun. I love it. It's my baby. It's grown, and I've just it makes me so happy to be a part of.
I have another question. So, for a nonprofit like us, who's still, we're still in struggling mode, but not struggling
Growing.
so much, but
You're still
growing.
Growing,
Well,
yeah.
It's been a 70-year journey.
Yeah.
What is the bottom line? What would the monthly fee be to be a part of Fundo?
So it's completely free for nonprofits. You do have
Free.
to make it's free
Nice
for you guys to
price.
join, but you do have to participate. So we've had clubs show up and they'll participate for a month or two and then they'll kind of fall off. Well, if you guys aren't able to stick it out for the rest of the year with us, you're not gonna be able to receive a check at the end of the year.
Okay, so we hosted just a few days ago. So in the future, we participate actually as a vendor in the future. Like we'll have that table and
If that's something you guys want to do, absolutely, you guys can have a table.
we can have a table once a
But
month.
you would have to pay to be a sponsor. Oh, I see what you're saying. So right now you're participating as a nonprofit to receive funding, but if you wanted to participate as a sponsor, you'd have to pay the sponsorship money, and then that money would go into the bank, and any nonprofits that referred to you or you guys got business from, they would end up getting that money at the
All
end
right,
of the
so
year.
is it not? So I noticed that the vendors were actually like businesses,
Yes.
not
Mhm.
nonprofits.
Not nonprofits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're there to receive support from our members. So we had about 50 members there on Friday, and that means now you guys have 50 new people that you can potentially get support from. So if you have any events, if you have any classes that you want to promote, we allow that time at the end of the meeting to talk about those things. Yes.
Do we get anything if some of our members encourage new sponsors to come and say hello and possibly sign up? Because I know quite a few people who are self-employed that could use some extra PR.
If they come and they sign up with us and become sponsors, you will get Fundo, but if they're just coming to check it out, we don't assign Fundo.
No, but if they sign up with you and it came through one of the BAA members.
Yes, absolutely. You get $1 million Fundo dollars for signing on new
Million.
$1 million
Oh,
Fundo.
wow.
Yes.
We'll be billionaires.
Just a very general question. How does Fundo profit from how many people attend an event or not? Because I do not, so I know about you guys, but I don't understand the structure of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So listening to you, I'm going, this all sounds wonderful, but what is in it for them?
What's in it for us? Well, I'll tell you personally, what's in it for me is I get a free membership because I also am a business owner and I'm running the meetings, but I'm also getting business from Fundo selling manufactured homes. So, and then the sponsors are benefiting because they're getting a referral force like you guys, and then the nonprofits are benefiting because they're getting money at the end of the year. So it's mutually beneficial for everyone involved. Fundo, unfortunately, as the entity, doesn't get to have anything. You know?
That's right. And I asked you about that too because you were like doing the homes and the ADUs, which I was curious about because I have family members who member who's interested in that. So
Mhm.
that's your sideline
Yep,
for
that's
funding.
so. I benefit because I'm running the meetings. I'm like, I'm just gonna give myself a free membership then. So there.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there are, the businesses have tables all around the room. Bonnie and I bought
A
hot
few things.
pads.
And I did a video, but I had no. Anyway, never mind.
But there, like Pampered Chef is there. There's different businesses like that.
Mary
Then
Kay.
if you buy something, they give you a receipt, and that gets turned in, I think quarterly.
Yep.
Correct.
So next month is our first turn in,
Yeah.
and
so
this
it-
is. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And I think I bought honey too. And so there are different things you could do. I mean, I didn't need a mattress to take home.
Right.
Not yet.
But there are, and it kind of changes a little each time.
So the sponsors are always at the back of the newsletter, so you'll have a whole list of all the different sponsors. Some months I'll have new sponsors coming to check it out, and we'll give them, we'll give them a feel for how the meeting runs. We'll allow them to come and speak, and then it's your guys' job to call them and say, you know, I would really love to be able to have this transaction go towards funding for my nonprofit. Will you please join? And then hopefully that'll help them jump in and become a sponsor with us. If they see that it's worth it and they're getting people calling, then that makes them more inclined to join as a sponsor.
How long have you been in business?
Fundo has been around for over 20 years as Shop for Fundo. And previously, before that, it was called Points for Profit.
Okay.
You know who Points
Yeah,
for Profit is? So
I've never heard of that, and I've never heard of Fundo until just the last few days.
So I actually was given, it was called Shop for Fundo. My friend Richard was retiring, and then Rita was also retiring, the one that ran the meetings. And they said, you know, our numbers have been dwindling. We need someone that's going to revive it. And so I took it over. Before it was just an entity, and I actually turned it into a 501c3. And we've been a 501c3 for about a year now. So,
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you.
I have a question. You have your own business, so you're part of Fundo.
Mhm.
Give me a scenario of how it comes back to you
So
for your own business side of it.
if you know anyone that is interested in putting an ADU in their backyard, you would call me up and I would go ahead and send an invoice. And if they actually went forward and put an ADU in their backyard, I would give you the invoice. And then with that invoice, there's ways that we calculate how much Fundo will be awarded specifically for that invoice or for that receipt. And the way that happens is transactions under 1,000 get multiplied by 2,000, and that's the Fundo dollar amount that is assigned to your club. Transactions of $1,000 or more gets multiplied by 200. Transactions that are 10,000 and above get multiplied by 20, and 100,000 and above get multiplied by 2. So if you got a $200,000 ADU, that would be multiplied by 2, and that's how much Fundo would be awarded to your nonprofit.
You always have the meetings at this River
Ridge Golf Club.
River Ridge,
Yes, second Friday of every month.
and where is that?
It's off of Victoria and Oxnard.
It's by my house.
And the meetings that you have, you said twice a month?
Once a month.
Once a month, what are those designed to do? Connect people?
Yeah, so
Party?
it's our sponsorship fair. We have tables set up all around the room. All of our sponsors get 1 minute to give their commercial so that you get to, it's kind of like our sponsorship showcase. And the first segment is commercials. Then we have a break where everybody goes up to the sponsor tables and the sponsors have Fundo in their hands. And that's where you get to ask them questions. You're not allowed to say, give me the Fundo. You actually got to go up to them and say, oh, how long have you been in business? Or what type of referral are you looking for? Because essentially they're training you guys to be their referral force.
Right.
So even though you specifically may not need their services right now, you guys are going to be the eyes and ears around Ventura, and you're going to think, oh, so-and-so needs a new mattress. I have just the guy. He says he's going to make you better in bed. You know, that's what his commercial is. And then that's your it. That's his commercial. He always says that. So that's what we're doing.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that? Otherwise, I would have bought a mattress. No.
Thank
Yeah.
you for explaining.
Yeah, you're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Mhm.
The website says a lot.
And then
There's a lot on there.
Christine from Pampered Chef we're working out arrangements for her to do a demo here.
And then
It's
we'll
pretty
get Fundo
popular.
dollars for that. It would be during like a Thursday,
Yeah,
Salon Thursday?
not on a board meeting.
No, not during
No,
a
but
board
that's a great idea to
Yeah,
at least get more people aware of
yeah,
both organizations.
yeah.
And then I believe Pampered Chef does fundraising as well, so you'll be able to benefit from that. And then so does Sharon with Touchstone. So if you guys have both of them come, and we're industry exclusive. So if you have a business that you want to refer, unfortunately, because it's $100 a month, they do log out their competition. So there's no other competing businesses that are allowed to join Fundo.
Right.
So,
Okay.
All right.
I think I took up way too much time. You guys have been very gracious. Thank you.
Well, the time
Thank
changed,
you.
so
Yeah.
you're ahead of the game.
Thank you. If you guys need anything, I have business cards. So I always show people. By day, I sell manufactured homes, and then by night, I run a nonprofit.
And you do it with a crane.
I do. We can crane them into people's backyards, or we roll them right in. So I don't know if you want to take one and pass it down. 99 bottles of beer on the wall.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Leah.
I hope you guys
I
can
already
come
have
to the
yours.
meeting. Oh, perfect.
Well, I'll send that, before the next meeting, I'll send a note to the board with the address, and it's very easy to find. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right by our house.
Very familiar.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
been
1
there,
mile
so-
from it.
We're
Very
Yeah.
convenient. I don't see on that side.
Okay, so is it complete?
I think so. I think I
Okay.
said what I needed to say. I'll leave this here with you guys. It's just the
Okay.
newsletter printed out,
Thank
and it has
Yeah.
the list of
Well,
sponsors
we
in
can
there.
take photos.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
If anyone
great.
wants to take photos of the.
I can't get it.
Okay, so I'm trying to get some agendas printed, but there's a paper jam.
Uh-oh.
So I have an agenda here, so we're gonna go on to the president's report. The BAA move, that's the proposal. So did anybody look at the summary of the proposal that I sent in the email? I do have a few copies if you wanna see the summary.
Are you gonna go over that right now?
Yeah, I thought we better. It's on the agenda. We could actually go on to
Thank
something
you.
else first.
Thank you.
The executive director can't make a report because she is on vacation. So maybe we'll come back, let's come back to the move and,
This one, right?
yeah,
That's the
right,
one
that's it,
that one.
that's it,
Okay.
right, correct.
So what do we,
Okay, so, I'd like a show of hands, because in terms of the agenda, I know that it'll take a little time to discuss. We also could go to the treasurer's report before we get busy diving in deep. So let's take a look and, let's move to take the treasurer's report, and then Nolan pretty much did his, but you may have some other things that you want to say, and I'll weigh in a little bit later. We'll take the first, well, let's go through the first 9.
First
And then,
nine
and then, items on the agenda. We'll just take them in order, except we'll take the president's report a little bit later, I'm suggesting. If anyone has any objections, speak now.
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. So, Mary's iPhone. Mary, we can't hear you. Could you unmute, please? Still can't hear you, honey. There we
Okay,
go.
I have no internet right now, so I'm doing this on my own iPhone.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
So Sharon withdrew $20,000 last week, which should last us about 5 months, which leaves us $230,000 in our account. We're probably in better shape than most people right now that are invested in the stock market.
I'm
because-
unable to do anything about the sound, so just listen carefully.
So, so we're probably in better shape than most people that are invested in the stock market. Brent has us in a very low risk investment profile right now, as BAA directed over the years to have him do. So right now we're at 230. So we haven't lost a lot of money with the markets tanking. So the 20,000 that she withdrew should last us about 5 months. Debbie pointed out that there's a $300 charge to the harbor for open competition awards. And I can't speak to that. It was entered by Sharon or Linda in the QuickBooks, and Sharon's on vacation. So I copied Linda on that email and she can address it. I mean, I copied Sharon on it. She can
But
address it.
Does Debbie understand what you're talking about? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, I asked her.
It's on the P&L, $300 open competition.
And Mary and Darlene might be able to
Yes.
help.
what kind of awards did we give out to the beginners competition? How much in the value of that? Would that have equaled $300?
Total?
Yes.
Very likely. I know they were, the last one was $75, so it's very likely it would have been about
So that's-
300.
That's probably what it was, Mary, is our beginners competition. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But they put it under open competition.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Sharon's-
Sharon can-
Yeah, that is, but that's where I could see where Linda might have
And
put it.
300 wouldn't have been the open competition because I think the top prize is 300, so
So
it's probably beginners.
We'll talk to Sharon about that when she gets back.
Yeah, she's been copied on the email, so she can address it when she gets
Oh.
back. So our income is a positive $16,726. However, that includes the $35,000 from the VibeWell grant. And so really, we're probably closer to a negative $18,000 on income because we don't know how much of the VibeWell grant is going to actually go to BAA operations. So just keep that in mind. As they spend it through the end of June, our income will start to go in the negative range. And that's all I got.
Okay.
I got one more question. I know we got restricted donations for $3,050, and did that go towards Sharon's assistant?
1,500 did, 2,000 will go towards the marketing,
Okay.
and that will be Enric because Sharon made a recommendation for our marketing. He's a known entity,
Yes.
and he'll be working with us. That'll take him through December. He's just going to divide it up into little dollar amounts and just keep working with us.
Okay, I'm confused with what, the grant for Sharon's assistant was 3,500. Is that what you were alluding to?
3,050.
No, 500.
Okay, because
Yeah.
that's on here. It says there was a restricted grant for 3,050.
Is that a
Oh.
different one?
I don't know.
Because
No, it wouldn't have been a
Sharon's was
different one.
3,500.
Okay, so
Right.
we'll make a note of that and ask Sharon when she gets back.
Because
Right.
that's not on here then, but this other one is.
I think somehow we'll have to dig deeper and find out
Yeah.
if there was some input
Well,
or
you have that,
something
you have
was
that $5,000 donation, so maybe.
another story without
Yeah,
confusing.
That's
yeah.
the
not on
agenda.
here. That's not even on here. 5,000.
I think that's almost gone, and that's why Sharon had to take out 20,000. And I'm not sure where it went, but she would know.
Because it should have been in here, regardless if it was
As
used or
income.
not. It should have been noted, right?
Mhm. I would have
Put
thought.
money in and take money out. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just
okay, so
part
that's,
of being part of that.
so that's a question to ask also, where was that, it probably was input somewhere, but where? She usually will
weird
do
that it
something
isn't
like that,
there.
it's not like her not to.
So we can
Write
ask
it down.
next month or get an answer for next month's
Well, and this will be in the
meeting.
notes, and I've noticed when I put it through the AI, it has action items. So
Cool.
this will be an action item.
Nice.
If everything goes well, we'll see. We'll hope for that.
Nice.
Okay, so Debbie, did you have anything you needed to report during this treasurer's report
We're
time?
gonna have a meeting, a G2 meeting on Saturday, and we had a 925 visitors for February, which is down from January, and we're just having great amount of visitors, like 100 each day on the weekend. And what I would like to, if we move forward with the proposed retail space downstairs, I would, or even before that, I would like to invite all of you to come and sit at G2, especially on a weekend, to see what the traffic is like down there, and see if you could handle that kind of traffic
Right.
in sales.
That's a good point. And I think that there'll probably be some of the people who have said that they would volunteer. I'd like them to come because according to, if every position is filled, and I'm not saying that it would be, but all of the solo shows or artisans, we would have extra people that I would want to put a couple of people in each of those shifts
Yes.
so that it's not just one person. Yeah.
We do one person, we never have two,
Yeah.
but we've been doing it for 10 years.
No, yeah, but
So
it's also a different type of place. So it'd be nice to, hopefully we'll have
But I
two.
would strongly encourage that, even if you don't stay for a whole shift, you just come and experience how it works, the kind of people that come in there. Sometimes you have 15 people all at once. What do? How do you watch those people? Because if you have little tchotchke items, you have to watch them.
Yeah, it's like
we
a
have
flash
cameras. We have cameras. Stella bought cameras.
And that's a good idea. I
And
think
we've
that
caught
would be.
people on those cameras
Yeah.
taking things, but we can't find that person.
Are those cases locked?
We don't have
No.
cases. We don't want cases.
And really stop the suggested legal advice, according to the police, is even if you see somebody stealing
won't do
something,
anything.
it's not worth anybody's life. You don't know
Yep.
who you're talking to. They suggest you can give them the hairy eyeball, but really
We've been
don't
there.
go after them.
Been there, done that, and all we did was when we found the person who you could see her put the
Oh.
thing in her pocket in the video, and I took a picture of the lady, and she's posted inconspicuously at G2, and I put thief. So she's very
Oh.
obvious. She's real easy to spot when she has like a wig on or something, huh?
And even
TV.
then, what do you do? Not
You
serve
watch her like a hawk.
Yeah,
You
okay.
become her best friend, and you say, "How can I help you today?"
Yeah.
And because she did it, Don was watching her, but
Yeah.
Don wasn't next to her.
Yeah.
So it's just it's one of those things. But I highly recommend that you come in. I'm there every Monday afternoon. It's usually kind of slow on a Monday. Saturdays are the busiest days. You should experience both.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Just a quick note, I did ask you when I had my show up
Yes.
on the wall if I could host, and you said you already had, your sitters booked and all
And-
that. So, but now that you're saying that, yes, maybe volunteers should actually sit and see how it goes.
They should.
I think that's a good thing.
And I
But
thought-
I was actually really happy to sit there and host because I have experience hosting at different galleries over the years. I'm sure that's different there. I've never been in a gallery that has hosted 15 people all at the same time in a small area.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's absolutely a wonderful thing that you're offering to do that, and I think it's a great thing.
It's good, whatever happens. It's really good to see how it works. And
Absolutely,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
so I thought of that on Monday when I was sitting there. I thought, well, what else could we share? The other big thing to consider, and I won't take any more longer than this, is we have Laura Walter does all our bookkeeping for us, and if she wasn't doing that, that would be, I don't know how much money would go out the window.
What does
She's-
Sharon do? I thought she said she was
No,
doing
ma'am.
that. What does
does
she
not.
do? when
She does the
comes?
deposits. That's all she does. I do the credit card reconciliation. She does the deposits. Lorna fills in the blanks, and so does Gary Frick.
Mhm.
But the big nut that Laura Walter does is she takes this. We had 7 pages of sales this past week, and she enters all of those in because Square does not do that. That they thought it was going to take care of all of our bookkeeping
Mhm.
problems. It does not do that. And same way with the Pottery Guild, they do the same thing. They take our written. We have a written sales journal, and then we also double input it into the Square just for checks and balances because we're all human.
Yeah.
And then Laura takes all those 7 pages and she enters each individual sale into QuickBooks, so we get our commissions, and
Wow.
BAA gets her commissions, and it takes her a long time.
In-
So you can pay somebody $50 an hour to do that, or you can get a volunteer to do that.
Right.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can attest to that Square doesn't do that because it doesn't do it for Gallery 113. Gallery 113 has a paid bookkeeper that goes through,
Inputs it all.
inputs it
Yeah.
all, and
So
makes
it's just
sure
another
that
Yeah,
thing to think about.
my retail experience is that I used to have like thousands of products.
Yeah.
And I used to actually have to pay somebody to do the data entry for the product numbers.
Yes.
And then once you have a product number,
Yeah.
and people can have product numbers, then you have a system that actually works, and you don't have to go through all of that. But it does have to be done once, or
well, if you have one person and they have all the products,
That's
then Square will
Yeah.
be a lot more
Yeah.
useful. But you have,
yeah, let's,
16,
we don't need to
yeah.
go through your solution.
and they all have commissions.
I like Kathy. You have retail experience. Did you have a product process? And I don't really want to go too long into
We
this.
weren't digital.
Okay,
This was back before, I closed my store in 2005, so
so that's going to be one of
computers, but
our.
not point of sale. Yeah.
You were
But I
old.
did have a question for you. You said you had a meeting on Saturday
Yes,
with the people who are part of the G2.
yes.
What time is that? I'd like to
We-
see.
Is it 10? It's at
I
10.
didn't hear what the question
What time
was.
is our G2 meeting and on
10
Saturday?
a.m.
10 o'clock.
10.
But it's only, it's very, I mean, it's 10 and we have to be
I
through
don't
and
know,
out.
they're
and
11.
and
So they're
business-
streamlined.
for business is 11.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 'cause
I
we-
just would be there with ears.
Mm-hmm. And much as I'd love to come, we have a workshop this weekend, so I wouldn't be able to, but if you could, maybe we would get some relevant information. That would be great.
I just am trying to get a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All right. Any other questions regarding the treasurer's report? We'll move on to, oh, yeah. Okay, Nolan, you're up.
Oh,
Can-
already did the fundo.
Well, you did. I just wanted to give you the dignity since you had,
The volunteer program. Love.
Oh, I
Oh,
put-
you know
I-
what? That is a
I
very,
laid them
Oh, I
out.
have
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
highly relevant.
yeah. Okay.
And I have something to add in.
Can I have an extra? Okay, I don't know, did anyone get a chance to read this?
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's one change. Additional guidelines, credits are, I said like more, credits are transferable.
Good. That was
But
my
I think
complaint.
regardless of what we're doing in the future, we need to emphasize that everybody has to volunteer more. So getting credits, it's what Bonnie and Darlene do at 113,
Mhm.
and you do it at Carpinteria too, right?
Yeah, you get credits over there as well, but 113 is a good template.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a good template for that that volunteers don't always volunteer.
Well, yeah, they don't come through, so you have to have a backup. It's
Yeah.
it's
So
the human element.
Well, you
No.
just pay extra. Thousand Oaks Art Association, you can become, you get, you get juried in, but do you want to help volunteer? Yes, you get a lower rate as a membership. If you can't volunteer, you get a higher
Yep.
rate to
And we used
membership.
to do that, and people
And
didn't have a
that's
problem.
how it is.
We
That's
did
just
that.
how it
We
is.
did that pre-COVID.
Yeah.
We
So
did that
why
years
can't
ago.
we do that again? I mean,
I have
that's
no-
how
Okay.
I have no problem with it.
I don't either.
And you tell them you pay more because if you can't volunteer, we have to pay somebody to do that.
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah.
that simple.
But that's not true, is it?
Well, it's not, because if they're not always showing up, then it costs more than that.
No, what I mean is we're not paying volunteers to sit for somebody
Sharon,
else.
maybe.
Well,
Sharon's
I think in the case,
Not in the current proposal, and that's
What
where
the-
we're staying, right?
what she's addressing is that if, for instance, you're not able to be there, we have to have somebody come hell or high water. So if there's not hold on, let me finish. So if there's not a volunteer, we have to hire somebody. And in that case, we
Okay,
would.
Sharon.
Yeah.
All right,
No, it wouldn't be.
then maybe
Well, it could
we
be.
need
Well, I hope
to
not. Be a lot of money.
clarify that we're not just addressing Nolan's suggestion in the report, but that we're also addressing other things. And that's fine. I have no argument against
I see. But
You're-
you're talking about, yes, I see
May I?
what you're saying. Sure.
against the idea of credits for volunteering. And I don't have anything against a sitting membership that is less expensive than a non-sitting membership. I have no argument with either of them. What I want to know is what we're discussing. I thought we were discussing the proposal of the credits.
Right.
Okay, and then I had my hand up because I want to find out from everybody that either disagreed or agreed. What I suggested a couple of meetings ago was something that is used in many of the galleries where I show, that every artist who has a piece in the show
Mhm.
has to volunteer and has to write it down as the piece is accepted. Someone taking the piece on the table that checks things are, that checks that things are.
Mhm.
There is a long list of things and artists that have been accepted where you sign for what day, what shift. And I've said that a number of times, and it's been glossed over or forgotten or whatever.
It's all
And I
good.
think it's a
I
must.
agree.
I think
Absolutely.
Darlene has something to say about that because you do it.
Yeah.
Do that.
and you can attest to that. You bring in a piece to Gallery 113 to the member show. The solo walls are a different matter. The member show, there's somebody right there at the door signing them up. But it doesn't,
I'm
they-
confused.
in other words, somebody, a SBAA member brings in something to the member show for Gallery 113. Before they leave,
Well, gallery one, we're not talking about.
I thought you were
gallery.
talking about something you do
no,
with the
I'm
exhibit
telling you
committee.
how
It's
that
just the
doesn't
model that
all,
we're trying to follow.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
trying to tell you how it doesn't always work. I'm just saying that from my experience. There is somebody right there signing people up, unless they can say, I've already signed up online. There's somebody right there signing you up for hosting. It doesn't always work because every single month there's still gaps in the hosting and some days when they're not open, which is not something we can
Okay.
afford.
I understand that people are human and people are people. However, the and I don't know. I think Nolan is the coordinator for. You have something with sitters,
Volunteer
right, or
coordinator.
volunteers?
With what?
Do we have? Does BAA have a volunteer coordinator?
A volunteer
Kind of.
coordinator.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Is
because-
it you or is it Sharon or both?
I work with Sharon,
Okay.
because I write the letters for what we need, and she'll send them out.
Because I had a couple of pieces at a gallery in Santa Barbara, came back from Patagonia 2 years ago. I had caught a virus. The virus went into my ears, and I went 100% deaf on my left ear, which is my good one, and 78% deaf in my right ear, which is only 30% functional. So I could not sit because I could not hear. And I called the coordinator. Joe, this is what's happening. I cannot hear. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, email me. I cannot hear. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I've already, I've gone to the physician, blah, 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 blah. Email me, please. And then we communicated by email. And I would say, he sat for my shift, because I couldn't sit because I couldn't hear. And I sat for the last shift of the show. And thank God, some of my hearing had returned. So things happen. Yes, sometimes people forget. The coordinator sends an email or a text saying, I remind you, you have a shift.
They do that there.
Okay. And somebody goes deaf because of a virus. Okay, then the coordinator then can arrange and move and do you have somebody.
Okay.
Or I have a friend and say, look, can you do my shift? But to discount the value of, if I have a piece on the show, I have to be here. If nothing else, because I have to promote my piece.
I agree with you in theory. My concern was in practice. It doesn't always work. Gallery 113 at least only loses a day of sales if nobody's there. We would get fined. They at least don't get fined.
Okay, I'd like to
Anything
stop.
that includes human beings is never going to be perfect.
Okay, moving on, I'd like to hear, do we have a recommendation? Like, this is a problem, and we've talked about it several times here at the table. It's going in circles now. Do we want to make it mandatory that if a person has something in the show, if they're doing an exhibit, that they must do it? Is this something, would someone like to make a motion, or is it something we need to talk about more?
I make a motion that for every artist that has a piece in a BAA show, they must volunteer for one shift.
Okay.
If they cannot volunteer for one shift, then they must arrange to have someone else volunteer for her or him.
Okay.
Now that I like, because it doesn't involve money. Other than that, you can't, a person needs to be trained. So they have to be approved. So if they're going to be doing that, they have to do the training if they're going to be a volunteer.
Okay, as the chair of the exhibits committee, I need to know when would this go into effect, because we would have to change.
We can't do it for the open competition, I think.
No,
Would you say?
of course not. But when do you want it to go into effect so that when we're,
Okay, I have a recommendation for that.
okay, I
I
need to
already
know.
made the motion.
I'm making a this is a discussion.
Oh, so the motion,
No,
Okay,
the
I'll second,
motion's on the
I'll second
table.
the motion.
oh.
Okay, so now we're in discussion. I'm sorry, you're right. We needed to second that, I second that
Okay.
motion. And Darlene is a discussion point, and I'm gonna comment on that, that I think if we all agree and the motion passes here, we need to send that out to the members.
Right.
And we need to survey them. We have a survey tool that we can do that and ask if they have any objections, they need to comment and tell us what the alternative would be. Otherwise, it'll go into effect end of April, May, let's say May.
Well-
Does that sound reasonable, a month?
Yeah.
To let the membership know that we're gonna do that?
Yeah.
The first, May 5th is some, I'm not sure. Is this VCCC? Do you know about them?
That's
Is
an
this,
Ventura County.
No, we're talking about the dates, so I was trying to tell her what the dates would be.
Okay,
That's the Camera Club. Ron Kaplan has not gotten back to me.
okay, so that would be
My
irrelevant
show
right now.
is a-
Okay.
Let's just say tentatively, unless we have other suggestions, we'll let the membership know that the board has deliberated and recommends that we make it mandatory that if you have a piece, whether it's 1 or 3, that you will do one shift. And if you can't cover it, you have somebody who's going to, but they must go through the hosting tutorial with and be sanctioned. Kathy?
When you put out the survey, can you ask if they would be willing to pay for somebody?
You know, I
Pay a higher price in order to do it?
For
Because
like future?
for future, so, you know, for example, I have a hard time sitting longer than 2 hours.
mhm. 3.5 is tough.
Right.
Okay.
And so and my doctor says get up every hour.
Okay.
So, you know, so what I'm thinking is if you're going to ask the membership, the broader membership, if they're willing to pay more money so that they don't have to sit.
Let me ask you what your recommendation would be, because at minimum wage, that's going to be, let's even say if it was $15, it's
So-
45, it's $50
So that's right. So
60, you know.
So when I got my niece to come over here, and you hadn't met her, so we couldn't use her,
Oh.
I offered her $20 an hour to come and do it for me, and she said yes.
Well, we could say that you could, oh God, if you hire somebody yourself, they still have to be trained.
Right, and I accept that,
Yeah.
you know, and that's a great idea.
So
They have to be
your
trained in the
agreement
thing.
wouldn't
So
have to
that's-
be
Means if my niece is trained, when it's my turn to sit, I'll just pay
hire
her.
her, yeah.
So the thing is though, I think the membership should have that opportunity, and you'll also find out if that's maybe the way they
Well,
want to go.
here's the thing. You can do whatever you want to get your volunteer in as long as he or she is trained. And we don't need to know that you paid or didn't pay or
Right.
did dishes, took them to dinner, they owe you $1 million.
But I like her idea of a survey.
But on the
That was
survey,
my
you'll
idea,
find out if people are
way.
willing to pay more, and if they are, then you know my feeling is that if you're going to have a gallery where people have a perception of art's value, having an artist sit over in the corner, you know, you need somebody who knows.
Great
how to
idea.
sell
You can
art.
help me write the survey with Sharon.
I will.
Okay, good. All right.
I will. Sorry to take up
so
so much time.
I don't think it is up to the BAA board to tell artists
I agree.
how
Yeah.
to cover their hours.
Yeah.
Your
Okay.
decision to pay someone or not is your decision. It's between you and the person.
Yeah.
It's not up to
Yeah.
BAA.
So I'm sure Sharon will weigh in on that because she's always got a lot of good ideas. I would agree with what you said. But meanwhile, all in favor
Of the credit
of
program.
oh, wait a second,
yeah.
hold on, wait. I was saying what you
My
motioned. Yeah.
Could you repeat your
That-
motion?
Yes.
Oh, Marissa has a question before we do that.
Yeah. You're saying that if you have a piece in a show, how long does the show run for? I'm not
Usually
real familiar with Gallery 130.
2
Is it
months.
1 month?
1 to 2 months, 1.5 to 2 months. They vary, don't they? Yeah.
Okay, so you're only asking them to sit for one shift?
One shift per piece.
Oh, is it one shift per piece or whether you have from 1 to 3?
My
Once a month.
ethics say one per piece.
Oh,
Well, you
If
won't.
somebody else has counter to that.
I think one shift per entrance, one of either one to
Okay,
three pieces.
here's my concern.
Yeah, we're not
You would need an awful lot of people
Yeah.
to cover all the shifts. That won't cover the shifts.
Well, they're not going to cover all the shifts. I don't think we can get one show to cover all of our needs. If we, for instance, in the new place, the idea is we have a membership wall. There's going to be 20 people, let's say. So that's 20 shifts right there, and that's not even saying they're going to have like several pieces. And then we have solo show walls. Each of those people would have to have, those would be mandatory 4 shifts is what we've been saying. And then there's the artisans who also have a requirement.
And then the regular volunteers.
Yeah, so I mean, there will be plenty of people if it's filled. There will be a lot of
So
people.
the preference.
So what you
One per-
really
not
wanna
one shift per
Hold
entry,
on, Marissa. Inez was.
Not one shift per entry, but one shift per artist.
It's me personally.
But-
It's just how I feel.
just you? Okay, what's the
I don't know how other
consensus?
people feel.
I was trying to
Actually,
say-
Darlene has an opinion.
Yeah, I
Hold on,
agree.
Marissa. I'm sorry. Marissa actually she needs to finish what she's
She
saying.
was
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Yeah, so hold on, Darlene. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Marissa.
Okay. I don't think you should put in a definite amount because
Of
It-
paintings?
or of shifts because you want to find out if people are willing to sit, basically. Not necessarily how many shifts they're going to be sitting.
We're talking about the survey now.
Yeah, the survey. You want to see if they are being willing to sit. Then you might want to ask how many shifts are they willing to sit? Would they be willing to sit one? Would they be willing to sit as an extra person?
So that could be part of the survey and give us
That
an
should be
idea.
part of the survey. We shouldn't be determining now what people are going to sit.
Okay, so we'll have to make sure the survey goes out right away and then comes back before our next meeting, and we can assess it based on what they say.
That's
you-
my
Are you
thought.
complete? Can I ask Darlene?
Yeah,
one-
go ahead.
okay,
Thank
sure.
you.
Darlene?
Okay. BAA's had a problem for several months, as a lot of places, where people aren't entering art. When people enter art, we get entry fees. If
Mhm.
we're going to ask ultimately for them to serve a shift for each piece,
As well as pay.
that's gonna bite us in the butt, because then they're not going to be entering pieces, because if they want to enter 3 pieces, we've been doing like 3 for 25 or something like that.
Yeah,
They'll enter 1 piece,
right. Maybe.
maybe none,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so we have to see there's a fine line there.
I think
We
you're
have
right.
to be aware that if we cut ourselves from people entering things, that's going to hurt us.
So you agree with Michelle that
Yes.
one shift per
Entry.
person entering,
Yes.
not per person. Okay, so there's
Okay.
2 that agree with that for different reasons.
I think
Nolan,
if
yeah.
it's up for 2 months, you sit at least at 1 shift a month. Not for 2 months. That's nothing.
Do you want to take notes on what we're going to put in the survey?
I am.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's
Could
not
you put
bad,
that
because
as a
our member
possibility?
shows in Santa Barbara are up 1 month, and so you could sit, and then the next month you
Yeah.
either enter or you don't.
And I think
2
people,
months, 2 shifts, 1 a month.
people are looking for ways to participate, and this
Well,
would be.
and also
Out
the
next-
situation
next
is
day.
different from here in this art center than downstairs. Like, you will be exposed to a hell of a lot more people walking in to the space
Mm.
than you are up here.
Mhm.
So I think the opportunity for volunteers to sit in a beautiful location that's going to have, all these visitors that come in every month
All-
is
mhm.
much more
Of an incentive.
inviting and
Right.
kudos
And
to, I'm already signed up, you know what I mean,
Good.
for once a week,
great.
you know,
great.
so
And all the more reason then also to have an abundance, not just one person per shift, but on those heavy days, at least two people, because we're gonna be offering things for the public to do when they come in.
Absolutely.
So we'll hope that people see the value in what you're saying.
So I would like
Debbie's
to amend
next.
my motion. Every
Yes.
artist that enters 1 to 3 pieces in a BAA show must sign and commit to 1 shift per month until the show comes out.
Per month, okay.
And do we need,
We'll define
when
the
this-
shift.
We're not actually done discussing, but I appreciate your amendment on that.
Is it seconded with the
you
amendment?
don't have to, if it's a friendly amendment, you don't have to.
Not-
I'll second that. There you go. Now we don't need to worry about it. Debbie is
Just
next.
a little caveat, and Sharon mentioned it at our last meeting, we used to have mandatory shift for G2, for the member wall for G2, and people stopped entering. They
Well,
did it-
this is her concern, yeah.
And
so we'll have to
just
see.
know that, it's
Be
already
aware.
happened to us, but it's a different world now.
And they
so.
just stopped.
I don't I just remember we had people coming in and they wouldn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't successful.
Uh-huh. Well, okay.
They knew we were there. I mean, you all talk about sitting a shift, but remember, you're gonna have a store, and you're making sales, and you need to have your
Right.
sales consistent. So
Right,
if the person
right.
is not shitting, they have to actually be the sales agent.
Right.
Otherwise, you all got to.
Right.
That's why they gotta
Was
be
there
trained.
another I thought there was another, okay, you, Kathy.
I think, and I've been formulating this over the last
Right.
since I've started. This bring a friend. Bring a
Were
friend.
you the one that was saying the
Bring-
buddy system, the
Bring a
volunteer
friend,
buddy?
because it's a social organization.
Yeah.
You want to talk about art, and if volunteers bring a friend, come spend the day with me. You know,
Dawn does that. She's always had a
And-
friend over there.
and
The
not only that,
Saturdays
the
are
friend you bring
beautiful.
might become a regular
An official volunteer.
on their own. So
Yeah.
our motto for whatever we're doing, wherever we're doing, bring a friend.
Bring your friend, yeah.
Bring a friend.
Yeah. And let
Yes.
them go through the training so that they actually can volunteer.
Well, maybe the first time they're just there with one of
That
their
can be
friends who's
too.
Yeah.
sitting.
Yep.
Bring
Or
a
they
friend.
could be
Okay.
security.
So we need to vote on this just in that we're agreed and we'd like to send the survey out. So all in favor?
Which,
Yay.
what are we agree?
Well, you amended the proposal, so
With
Oh,
the
The
that-
amount of pieces or the amount of sitting was what you were getting at.
So my
oh yeah,
so my
right.
motion is the only thing that we're voting on.
Mm-hmm.
That you seconded.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, and all in favor? Okay. Do you want to repeat what that motion was? Because now I'm confused.
It just, what I gathered from Inez or Inez, Inez
E.
is that how many pieces you put in, you're obligated to a certain number of hours, and on the application, I would certainly put it in the application that you accept.
And that
Wait,
this
it's
is
going back to the
and that
number
this-
of pieces? No,
Oh, sorry.
no.
And
no.
every artist that enters must commit to 1 shift, not any number of hours.
Right.
Must commit for 1 shift a month until the show comes down.
Yes.
And
that's what
and
I
they'll
heard.
get
She says
credits.
it better.
They'll get credit if they're
Okay.
sitting. And this is just our board recommendation, which will go out to a survey. And both Mary and Marissa have their hands up. So Marissa, you had yours first, and then Mary.
I was going to just say that the motion was if a piece is in the show, the person must commit to sit at the gallery for 1 shift per month during the show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's-
that's their way of saying it.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I wrote down when the
As
motion. was
secretary,
made.
you can send that to us. That's good. And Mary, you had a question?
Just whatever Marissa said, I go along with what she said.
Okay. All right. So now we're ready to vote. This is our recommendation. Did you have a question?
No.
No,
Now
okay.
we go to knowledge.
And
proposal.
No,
no, we're
voting
gonna
on
vote.
yours.
We still are gonna vote on this. I think. Okay. All in favor? Opposed?
I'm going to abstain. So I don't
Okay.
show.
She's gonna. Okay. Well, nonetheless. Okay. So the motion passes.
You
We
can
are
abstain for
in
whatever
agreement that we
reason.
would recommend to the membership that everybody has to, if they have a piece in the show, no matter, regardless of the number, they have to sit each month that it's in the show.
1 to 3.
One-
And art piece.
Regardless of whether it's 1 to 3, it would be one shift.
1 to 3.
Okay, good, and that
And they
vote,
can sit more if they please.
they sure can, and
They
they'll get
get
credit for
credit.
it, so that motion passes. We will write that up, put it in a poll, and get some information back.
Good.
And I think that's a good idea. And somebody had another question, somebody. Okay, so I think, was there anything else, Nolan? That was all on you, great.
Good.
And I like the credit idea, so we're moving forward here.
Sorry,
Inez.
vote on that?
Yeah,
we
Inez
have to?
has, is next. That's the Oversight Committee review. I don't know if you've had a meeting or not. Haven't met. Okay. So there's nothing to report.
No,
Ashley, are
that's
you
who I
here?
called, and he's not getting
You're
back.
up. If you'd like to review the Vibewell, and where you're at, just give us a report.
Ashley was here.
She's here. She's coming.
I'm
She's
just
coming.
charging stuff.
Okay. So if you just like to update us on Vibewell. Thanks, Ashley.
Okay.
Great.
So to date, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out the website that I built for Vibewell, but it has all the classes and descriptions and the artists that are being our instructors for.
What's the URL?
It's artinsideout.art.
Insideout.art.
Yes,
Art.
Art first. ARTINSIDEOUT.
Yes.
Is that it? Just art,
Yeah,
inside out. .com.
Art.
.art. I love that. Good for you.
So that's
Okay.
that. And then, yeah, so you can check out the course descriptions there and the artists that are involved so far. We have a really, really kind of great, like, diverse kind of thing going on, from like rhythm and tide to like poetry to then intuitive painting, watercolor, which is more traditional, but like go with the flow, and the whole idea to keep in like the vein of Vibewell and community building and all that stuff is that it's free for everybody. We're reaching out to a lot of diverse communities. It's looking good. Our classes are filling up. We're about 2/3 of the way filled from the existing spots.
Wow.
Yeah, so
And we
trucking
can pick
along.
up on that after you're done with it and make those
Exactly.
BAA programs
Yes, and
using your marketing, and then we can actually make money
yes,
on those
and so
things.
they are BAA. So that's BAA presents
Uh-huh.
this, spring breakthrough kind of thing, and then we're gonna use that momentum ideally to have it kind of be like the poster child for the kind of classes we can take to other places. Like Prototypes is a women's
And
rehab
Cypress.
facility, and Cypress Point, and a couple, and a lot of the Autism Society. I mean, there's all kinds of organizations that we should have.
And here,
Of
even.
course, yeah.
We
So
can
we'll be the flagship, but they're for lots of reasons, mobility issues and things like that. People can't always get here, so it's nice to be able to take the art to them as part of the accessibility aspect to the grant. So there's that. And I heard earlier some mention about the budget, and I was mistaken in that I thought I was under the category of admin, and I'm not. I'm under personnel. So that means that the $7,000 cap for admin can go to BAA, just free and clear. Like, that's one aspect. And then also for that week, because I'm using the facility of BAA, there's a charge for that, for use of the facility.
The rent.
Here. Right. So that combined with, and just in general usage of here, it's budgeted out where you guys can bill up to 10, almost 11,000, which
Right.
puts you about just shy of 30% of the overall budget, which is like a really solid number to keep in house.
And we get the when you go to Cypress, whatever that Meadows or whatever, is
Yeah.
that one of our programs? And we don't charge for
So
that
we
because
won't-
you're
Yeah, so
covered.
the grant will cover the cost of the instruction and the materials and everything for us to go there and do a nice thing in the community. After June 30th, or until funding runs out, then that's it. So after that, we'd have to really campaign, and that's why I have budgeted for a closeout event to encourage people who enjoyed the program to then donate to BAA. And as it is right now on the website, everything circles right back to BAA. So donate, support, volunteer, be a member, it all comes back
That's
here.
fabulous. And I like that you integrated it with our website. It's a beautiful website. Also, are we able to schedule something after June 30th, which would be our programs people could sign up
Yes.
for pay?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
So
so
we
we
can
can do that ahead of time.
Yeah, so we can
Okay.
dovetail it in that, like, until the program ends, it's gratis, while we can. And after that, it'll be at least cost of materials. And then after that, just depending on if people support it. If not, it's just going to be, we pay for the class like always if they want to continue
Yeah.
some of the courses that they like. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, Bonnie?
So I can put this link onto our Facebook page.
Yes. Please.
We're ready to go.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be
Great.
very
So
good.
Bonnie's going to put it on her Facebook page. I'm saying it louder, repeating it so that the recording will actually include that recommendation that you'll do that.
Oh, and then I've been reaching out to like CAPS, for example.
So yeah, it's on CAPS Radio.
Already?
She sent me the package, and so Elizabeth is incorporating it into the program over the next several weeks.
Did I see Mary's hand up? Mary, did you have a question? You got all those numbers. It's a good thing. Marissa, okay.
I can get those like actual numbers to her too, like just
Okay.
like that kind of ballpark number. We haven't invoiced technically. I haven't gotten an invoice from BAA for anything, but those are the numbers those are the caps, and I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you guys can hit those.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you. I think we should applaud. You're doing a great job.
Yes.
You really are.
Thank you.
It's not
I have
easy working.
some
this
printing
way.
material that I'm going to send out to you guys if you guys just want to like, honestly, if you guys just feel like creative and want to make a poster and I should be like the things. I'm putting out like all kinds of stuff in different styles because we're reaching out to so many different things. As long as it has like our logo and the main information, if you have a community that they think would be interested in it,
You're actually printing them?
I can print
Or
them,
they're
but
virtual more?
so far they're
Okay.
virtual. I'm going to solo read for graphics tomorrow afternoon.
Is that something that we could tell people who attend our general salon on Thursday?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
they
So I'm
would
going
be
to come
invited?
with some print materials on Thursday.
Okay,
for
so
them.
I'll put you on the agenda and you can, okay, good. Okay, you can explain that.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted right now. 'Cause I don't have it in front of me.
Would you have a particular flyer or photo that you want me to use to promote this thing?
I think I gave you the most recent one.
Which
Okay, so you
is
guys can
this?
get
Right,
together
right
on
there?
that?
Yeah?
Okay,
Yes.
great.
That one's good.
And
Right,
where you can use Bring a Friend.
Yeah.
Please.
okay.
Also, I'm thinking because if the classes fill up and people maybe not want to come alone, to open up the veranda with some just art supplies and general kind of play area so that people can kind of hang out and see the place as well. It's less structured, but we don't want to like say like not admit people in to an event. So
We want to use that veranda.
yeah.
Do you have a pop-up or something that would cover people somehow?
I'm gonna figure that out.
Think
It's
of
just,
that,
it's kind of as
Hey,
loose
maybe
as
you could
want
buy
it.
one of those beautiful sails that I've always wanted.
I actually have a couple myself I can loan or donate to you guys, but
Okay,
yeah, well,
Thank
it's
you.
all coming together.
all right, well, thank you. Any other questions? That for now, thank you. And for integrating with Sharon regarding the bank account. I think that all is done and we're
I think
coordinated.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I
good.
think so. I do need to talk to Nolan after, but
Okay.
we're good.
All right, great. We're moving on.
Thank you guys.
So next is the education and events and marketing. It's me and Aaron. Aaron's probably going, what? So we have a workshop this weekend, and we are now in promotion for the color part of the series, which will start April 11th. And so that's where that is. We're going from value to hue. And
So because it's the Ventura Botanical Gardens
I'm-
hangout that day and the Faulkner Farm, I talked to Sylvia, who's been enrolled in the black and white and wants to go on to the next.
right, right.
She's like, wow, that is a crazy day. Maybe
What do we do?
that April 11th should be postponed.
You know, I'd like to reschedule it actually. We could look into that and we
Yeah,
should do it
reschedule.
now. After the meeting, let's talk about the possible dates and what we should do. Because I want to attend that as well and I was really disappointed. So it's a good recommendation. If anybody has any other thoughts, it's great. But I thank you for bringing it up. Yeah. So I would love it if people attended some of these workshops because they're very exciting. We have some excellent instructors, and I see beautiful work growing from these people who were doing decent, okay stuff. They were working so hard, struggling, and now the creation of their ideas onto paper is really becoming cool. So, let's see. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the the caps. We missed it last month. I think it's time to start. Steve has been here every single time as a volunteer, recording, and it's time we start to put some pieces together and make it a CAPS. Put it on CAPS as BAA. And so, do we need a membership to do that?
You do. I have a membership, so I can put it on. What I'd like you to do is 4 people can be producers there with your membership. You need to designate who those people are, and anything that needs to go on now I can do under my own membership. But they have to go through the training, and so it needs some forethought of who's going to be, because they make you go through certain classes that are really basic. And one of the biggest things for putting things on CAPS is having an editor, a video editor. So that's probably the most time. I mean, I edited a video of myself painting for YouTube, and it took me like an hour and a half to record it, and I've been in the chair fixing it for 10 hours. So, it's not a light job, but
okay. So of the people here who has a burning desire to be one of the 4. Ashley does. I know I will, and I've edited many pieces in my life, tons, and I look forward to it. I do it in my sleep. Anybody else got a burning desire to be? You want to?
What?
You want to be on CAPS with us? You be a member and work in the production?
well, that's something else you could survey out to your membership.
Yeah, we have 2 of the 4, and so now we can ask for 2 others. I wanted to put it to the board first because it really is quite fun. It's an amazing studio. I'm very impressed with it.
And I have actually, over the years, I actually was in there, pointed the camera down on a canvas covered table, had the lights set, and then I had a musician come in and improvise while I painted.
Wow.
Stella?
And that was just,
Are you here?
That didn't require any editing because it's got I had somebody in the control booth who could operate the control booth. So it's, when you edit there in studio, it's usually ready to go much faster.
And were you live streaming as well? Because I know you said that you can.
We don't live stream yet. We're working on that.
Okay, all right, good.
So, but it's
It's very.
and we're working on in demand too, so that people can go to the website. So, like, if you have a website, you could link to your programs on CAPS. Then you can, they can see you performing live. So there's lots of different options, and it's a great studio, and it's free with the membership.
Thank you. So before COVID, I had a show called Art Talk. It was of all of the artists who are part of Art Walk. And I'd like to continue it as a podcast and do it for the benefit.
And Sharon
of
has some production experience too. So,
Right. So we'll talk to her about that. Okay, so we can officially go forward with that, and we'll have to come in. We'll find out who the 4 are, and then we'll come in.
Well, you don't have to do it all at once, but until you're actually going to make something,
you
shouldn't use up your membership. You can use mine until you've got it. So if you've got something to go on, I can do that. I'd like to come in and edit the pieces that we have, because there are 6 classes, a workshop, and after this weekend, yet another one. So that's 8 pieces that need to be edited. I'd rather do it on your machinery. They do.
I have
4
Film Pro in
editing
here,
bays.
but it's, questionable. So.
And I think they have Final Cut.
I have that in there too. But I think I'd rather use yours. I think you have a bigger memory.
That's an excellent
We
reason.
have to purchase an external drive as a external hard drive with memory. I think Steve was saying.
It's a gig a minute.
He was saying a trilobyte, and I'm thinking 3 trilobytes, because it's.
No, it's a gig a minute, so you're going to use the hard drive up pretty fast.
Yep. All right. So anything else on that? Education events. Okay. Darlene, would you like to present your? Let's see.
Let me start out with the thing that I don't have to pass stuff
And it's
out
5:20, so 10 minutes would be good. You probably have all kinds of things to say.
No, I have it very concise.
Okay. Good.
I will be here I expect to be here on Thursday. I'll give out the ribbons for the show.
Very nice show.
I'll be here before 6, but I know around 6 o'clock is what I was told the timing was.
That's when they start, but that would not be when you're up. You would probably be in about. Well, first of all, people take time to settle in. So much as I like to start at 6 o'clock, we're still writing name tags and they're getting in their seats, we might do a meditation or something just to get people settled, because that tends to make them think something is starting. And then I talk about a couple of things that are the overview, and I don't even think 6:50, probably 6:20 or even 6:30. I'd like to include you in that opening set of,
Okay,
so it probably isn't going to be any sooner than 6:20.
okay, so I don't have to be here at 5:45.
Please don't come at the last minute though, because I'll worry. No, you don't have to. No, that would be fine. You can come in.
I
more.
thought I had to be here at 5:45 because I thought that the presentation would be at 6, so I'll be here
I
by
would.
6.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's
I'll
fine.
be here at 6.
Perfect.
I have the ribbons already. I have the notes of what I'm going to say on that.
Good.
Okay.
Great.
Um,
And you're going to introduce the open competition also, if you'd like to pitch it. I think that's a time that people are still thinking about if they're going to do it. If you want to throw that
yeah,
in, or
'cause
I
April
will if you don't.
15th is the deadline.
9th,
If you-
18th. Yeah.
18th. If you
Of
want to
April.
just take one, I'll wait until everybody has a copy. I'm just going to summarize on there because a couple of things that I wanted to point out.
For organizing it.
Okay, while I'm waiting for those to go around, Nolan, what's the deal with the Ventura Camera Club? You said you hadn't heard from them?
I haven't heard from him only by email when he was in.
I think they need to be, I'll talk to you afterwards, but I think they need a drop dead date to get back with you.
Yeah.
Because May 5th will come up a lot faster.
Where will
So
that show be?
That, May 5th
Where?
in the Art Center.
Oh,
So,
I'll give Kathy one, so she
can
knows
you,
where she
I'll
hangs.
call him again.
Okay.
okay,
be
and then
nice.
let me know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'll change it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
okay.
As I was saying, the May 5th is going to be the Ventura Camera Club up here. And then on June 30th to September 1st, the theme is Anything Goes, and it will be juried. It's Spicetopia. The next show, the next 3 shows are April 16th, June 11th, which will be juried, and July 30th at Harbor Village Gallery in G2. April 14th is going to be a juried member show. June 9th, plein air
Can you
open.
say where? I'm trying to follow.
I'm talking about
We're
gallery
jumping around. Okay.
G2.
Got it.
Yeah. April 14th is juried. June 9th is the plein air open comp. July 21st is a regular member show. The change for my members here that are in the exhibit committee, I had a nice long talk with, this is a backstory that you need to know. I had a nice long talk with Mary Gail King. I went to buy her book. She's talking about watercolor show. And she informs me about the backstory that a long time ago there was a watercolor society that when they went under, they gave their $10,000 that they had to BAA with the promise that every year there would be a watercolor show.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I know that
Yeah.
COVID sort of messed things up. Anyway, we're bringing back the watercolor
Good.
show
Yeah.
because that was
An agreement.
an agreement for getting the money that they gave to BAA. The watercolor show will be September 22nd. I asked, when I talked to Sharon and we set this up, it will be at G2. So any changes to the art center is not going to affect the watercolor. It is going to be a members we're not making it an open competition. We're making it BAA members watercolor, and it is not it will not be an aqua media, so no acrylic. It'll be just watercolors, and that will be juried, and that's September 22nd.
Does that could it include the alcohol? You know,
Alcohol inks?
Yeah, there are people who really.
Sorry.
Watercolor is defined as watercolor.
Because that's alcohol, it's not water.
Yeah, sorry. No.
I just know people who work in it. They would want to know.
Well, they can enter one of the other shows.
How you doing?
No, I'm trying to, I was trying to get some information from a person that Mary
I'm
Gail told
okay.
me
Okay.
to contact,
I
but,
have another half hour.
Okay.
okay,
Marissa, you're not muted. You might want to mute yours, Marissa.
okay. Now, the
There you
other
go.
thing,
Good girl.
this is very quick and I promised you this. So I'm finally getting it to you. I'll give you,
Oh, good girl.
yeah.
Yep.
This is the, and
gonna
I
give
may
you
have
one.
missed something. I
is your
tried
one.
like heck to get everything down.
Take one. You- no.
Unfortunately, the two people the two people that were on the committee with me are not part of the board, so I just had to wing it myself. This is in no particular order of when something has to be done. I just tried to put down everything that we had to concern ourselves with for the beginners juried competition, so that whoever takes over the committee, and it should be, in my estimation, it should be sooner rather than later, because our workshops were in September
I
and
have people
October.
in mind for that, so I'm glad you said that. What's the
Okay.
answer to number 12? Did you have not for sale in that?
This is something that the committee will have to decide.
Oh, okay.
I think we accepted not for sale
I see.
pieces because these were beginners, and they may not want that
Yeah.
piece. You know, they may want it in the show, but they may not want to part with it. They may not be ready to part
Right.
with it.
Good point.
So as far as I was, here's some more for whoever you need to give them to. That's a committee decision.
Mhm.
All of these were committee decisions, but this sort of encompassed everything that we had to work on to make
Okay.
the two shows successful.
That's a great list. Thank you. Yep.
Okay.
Months ago, when we were discussing this type of stuff, months ago, maybe even 6, I suggested alternatives to the 3 levels.
3 levels?
Beginners, medium, and advanced. And I suggested 3, and I quickly forgot, and I asked secretary, and she couldn't find her notes. But I do remember specifically that instead of beginners, it's much more respectful and better accepted by the artists themselves when the organization calls them emergent
Well,
artists.
I've
she
seen
tried
them.
to do
I've
that,
seen them
but
both, and
I have too.
yeah.
I'm saying
but it's not my
emergent-
call.
that
emergent artist
Yeah.
is a lot more palatable than beginners.
Okay.
I agree that there should be another term. When I looked into the term of emerging artists, because they did actually want to do that, that means you've painted a lot, you haven't hit the scene yet, and you've got galleries and you're about to make a splash. So I'm just saying that was
Okay.
the definition that I found. So something like, there are other terms.
Right.
And
Number 3. I
and-
addressed that.
In the way that I have looked at it, not just today, I haven't done anything today, but when I was looking at alternatives for the 3 categories, emergent artist is someone who has not shown in galleries, in official galleries, or maybe juried shows. I can't remember if it was juried
That
shows.
was our criteria.
Or that there has been no pieces shown in juried show, and that's an emergent artist
Okay.
when
Yeah.
it is classified that way.
Yeah, that was our criteria.
Right. So
But this is just to be clear, I was asked for the complete list of the tasks that my committee had to address, so that whoever takes over at least has an
Got
idea
it.
of what tasks, so they don't have to reinvent it.
Got it.
So one of the issues that I came upon regarding the beginner show, there's some very well qualified artists who were going to venture college who said they would never do that because they wouldn't want to put it on their resume that they were in a beginner's show.
There,
So,
there you
With
go.
that, we can discuss further, but for now, moving on.
Okay, it was
Okay,
mine.
is
That's
that's
mine.
it, and it's a great point. We do need to address it, come up with a term that will satisfy, makes people want to join.
And if whoever you pick, if they want to ask me questions on,
To be available.
I'm
Thank you.
available to ask questions. I'm not available to be on the committee.
Okay, good. Bonnie, did you, I had said we'd go in after 9, but do you have something that you want to talk about with hospitality? If you have 5 minutes, that would work.
It's,
I don't want to
it's
spend
always
all
the
the time.
same.
on it.
Uphill battle on Facebook and Instagram. I've been posting like crazy because there's so much stuff going on in between, dates to remember and,
We wanted to have another meet and greet. we
I
talked about.
do want to have another meet and greet because the volunteerism is a huge issue obviously right now. I think the meet and greet, if I can check in with Sharon at some point,
Figure out the time.
like within the next, I don't know, I have a big show coming up in April, so I've been like totally focusing on that. But I think maybe in May, I think we should have a meet and greet for the new members that go back for the last year and put out to the new members an invitation to come to the Art Center to find out about our future plans and what we want to do, maybe downstairs, have them see the area, maybe even give them like a little tour downstairs. I don't know, but I think if we can get the new members again to realize that we do need volunteerism in the future and now,
Right.
Even if we have 10 come, that's 10 more. We already have a list of volunteers.
Right.
We should use them.
Right.
So
I think your idea of possibly in May, maybe mid or at some point, not April, because people always do join because of the open competition. They don't have to be members, but sometimes they decide, well, heck, I may as well. And it would be nice to include them immediately, on recognition and whatever. So we
and
can.
at the open competition, although unfortunately
We can
it's
pitch
like, we got a birthday party going on. We do actually need to have someone there
Soliciting volunteers.
soliciting volunteers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sign
Okay, so
up
that's
now.
an action item. I hope that we'll wind
So
up
you
seeing
need to
it.
talk to
someone
Kathy
who's-
Bodycomb.
So can you talk to Kathy Bodycomb or is that?
Would you talk to her directly? I have no problem talking to her.
to
just
solicit,
felt-
to have somebody who's a volunteer coordinator.
Yeah, I
Signing
just don't
people
want
up.
to have.
Volunteer, we have a list
Mhm.
of volunteers.
I'd rather you. I have
Because
things
he's
that
a
is going
chairman.
on right now.
Is
So
that right?
if you could talk to her, I have no problem talking to her. But
Okay.
I think she's saying because she's the chairman of that show, to be respectful, let's talk to her about that. Is that what you mean?
Right.
yeah, and I don't want to try to be the intermediary. I'd rather you talk
Right.
to her directly.
Yeah, I think out of
Well, I have,
respect.
okay.
It's a
that's
great
fine.
idea.
I'm
We'll
not
talk
on
to-
a volunteer committee, and I'm just hospitality and Facebook and Instagram. But if you want me to reach out to Kathy, I would gladly do that.
Nolan, since you're the volunteer coordinator, do you want to coordinate with Bonnie on that? Maybe you can coordinate
Sure.
with. I mean, you may or you may not.
It's
but
not that
since
hard.
Why
it's
not?
We have had someone at a little table there signing people up to
Right.
I just don't
And
want to speak for her.
I'm saying this out of respect.
Speak for
Excuse-
who?
for Kathy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she's
my,
the chair.
my letter got shut down, so
Oh, for what?
for volunteers.
What do you mean shut down?
The one I passed out.
No, what was shut down about that?
Well,
Did you wanna
I
have
don't
a
know
vote
if I'm
on
gonna
it?
send it out until
Okay,
I see
well,
the
let's-
survey
Let's
or what.
revisit
Huh?
then.
I
Let's,
thought we said we loved it.
yeah, we love the
Yeah,
credit
we love
program. I mean,
it.
that's
I
what you
thought it
were
was
talking
great.
about. What you talked about was something completely different. Not completely, because it involves volunteers. Yours is like at the top. Yeah, we want to do it. Now, where are we going to solicit volunteers? we'll do it for this, we'll do it for that. But I'd gladly make a motion right now to accept and enact a credit system for volunteers as you wrote it. Anybody want to second it?
Sure. I second.
So Aaron
Sure.
seconds it, Bonnie seconds it. Anybody
Okay.
have other discussion
send it
about
up.
it? Hold on.
Definitely, send it up.
Okay, so if it's discussion, so let's vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One is abstention.
Okay, and you're abstaining too? Okay, so we have 2 abstentions and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And the, up there,
And Mary and Marissa, did you, okay, Mary says yes and so does Marissa. Okay, so
Okay,
all
it
but
goes
2
up.
people abstain. So we just accept a credit system whereas a person gets 1 credit per hour
Per hour.
that they volunteer.
And
And
they can volunteer as
I'd
much as they want.
like to ask our friend Mary, who is not only a treasurer but knows how to write programs. There was a time when you told me that you can write programs or apps. It would be nice if you could think about how can we organize this so that when somebody volunteers, they have an account or however you feel it should be organized, that their volunteer hour or their volunteer shift would be tracked and we have a way of checking how many credits do they have. Can you handle that?
Let me think about it.
Okay, think about it.
From the sign up.
I have a quick question. What are the credits used for? I mean,
Oh,
when you
okay.
get, when
They're-
you approve
they're-
certain number.
Right, the credits
right
are
here.
used,
Oh.
I also think, and that's,
Oh, yeah,
what I didn't see on that sheet was that the credits could be used towards fees, of entry fees.
Yeah, it's right there.
Is it entry fees? Because I
No,
know with
what I
one,
read, because that's
No.
one of the things I know, there are no
okay,
entry
because
fees.
113, Gallery 113 says, yes, you can apply them to entry fees, but not the first one.
Not the
There
first
has to be money that comes in. So if it's $25 for the first one, 10 for the second, and 10 for the third, you could apply your credits at what equals roughly about $1 a credit to the second and the third. That would be 20 credits would pay for $20 worth of fees. Not the first $25 because we have to take in money.
Right.
So does that answer your question? Does that solve?
Somewhat.
I got a question.
It was
Oh,
Marissa
somebody-
that brought it up.
Hold on,
That-
Mary. Let Inez finish her question.
That if 1 hour of volunteering fits 1 fee.
1 credit.
No, $1 basically.
$1.
In the end, it winds up being $1.
Okay, then I misunderstood. I thought it was the second entry for $10 can be covered by fee,
Oh, no,
by
no, no.
volunteering.
Every time
You could
you
take it
sit
if
for
it's
an hour, you get
$1 off.
$1.
Got it.
And
Then-
each time you sit, if you sit for a shift for 3 hours, you get
You have
$3.
credit for 3 hours and
Yeah.
then
You
you
get
only
$3.
pay
And it
$7
goes towards
for
your
the.
second.
Got it.
$3.50 you're going to make.
I-
But at least it's something. And it's nice to call it credit because it isn't
It's incentive to
Yeah.
sit.
I will,
Well,
this,
Mary.
sorry.
Mary's next, and then
Sorry.
Darlene. Mary.
So I was glad to hear it's just $1 because the entry fees are income for us
Yeah.
that do not count against us for nonprofit.
Yeah. Right.
And that's something you got to consider.
Okay.
That's
and,
all.
Okay, and we can continue to be aware of that if it gets out of hand. Darlene.
something that wasn't addressed, the way you have to figure out how you're going to keep track of,
This is what I just talked to Mary about. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an important question.
but is it, you have to figure out how you're going to keep track not only the sitting or the volunteering credits, but then
How does it get
when
spent?
they're used.
So I'm hoping that those things could be addressed in a program that Mary might be able to set up so that we keep track of it digitally and online and in a way that a person can look up their account at any time. That's my hope. I don't know what Mary's able to write, but I know she's a genius when it comes to writing this stuff.
Maybe
You're silent. You're muted, Mary. I know I see your mouth. but-
Probably on purpose.
So
Okay.
I don't have internet. We just signed up for Aspire a month ago and the internet's been down for 3 hours. So I'm using this phone. But I think the volunteer coordinator needs to keep track of the credits. However, they're going to keep track of the volunteer schedule. Those credits need to be put there and somehow we'll figure out how to interface it with the entry fees.
A digital tracking system, okay.
Yeah, you can't have two systems. It'll get all out of sync.
Okay, so you may come up with a digital system that Nolan, for instance, would input things into. Or
Yeah, there might be a free
somebody.
app that we can put on the website.
I'm-
I'll think about it.
An app. I love the idea of a BAA app that includes. oh,
I'm
I'll go there.
not writing anything. There's a lot of free stuff out there. I'll
Okay.
research and we'll come up with something maybe.
Okay, great. We'll watch for your recommendations. Thank you. Meanwhile, we will send out a survey on this and an announcement that we're doing credits.
Okay,
It's,
so we want to do it at the same time?
I don't think, I think we should.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's do it in the same, for instance, Sharon will send out a letter. It will be this credit announcement, and then we will talk to members about if or not they like the idea of
Okay.
having to sit for every
I
thing that they
would
submit.
suggest just a Google spreadsheet would at least get you through, and that say have.
Are you
two
talking about keeping it tracking it?
Like 2 or 3 people have access
We'll
to
talk
that
about
Google
that with Mary.
spreadsheet.
Mary's, we'll probably want to hear some of those thoughts, but I know she's absolutely a genius on it. I don't say that facetiously. She's brilliant.
But you have to have also a way of subtracting them too.
Well, she mentioned
Right.
that, or he did, or she did. Somebody.
Because
Yeah.
I'll work with Sharon on the sign up duties.
Okay. All right.
Mary.
Any other comments on that? We have a few more minutes. Okay. So new business. I'm not going to really go into sponsors and the G2 committee because they've got their thing figured out pretty well. Newsletter. Marianne Reed has had some illness. She's the one who's going to be putting the newsletter together. So she still wants to do it, but if there's somebody else that can help her, maybe we should have a couple people doing it because she's not actually getting it done. So, all right. So I'm going to move on to the new center. Everybody has been there. I think we all visited. The proposal has been submitted. There was a revised proposal for things that they asked us to include and make sure we're covered. We did that. And tomorrow I'm going to go speak for, because they like a face. They don't have to have one, but
Where are you gonna go speak?
at the board meeting. It's a closed board meeting.
What board meeting?
The Ventura Port District Board meeting. Yeah. So,
Was a proposal for space one, space
it
one
was,
and
okay,
two?
so, yeah, we'll go through that now. Would you like, it is actually, and it had to be made clear because it wasn't clear based on the first proposal. I suggested to to Todd Mitchell when we were talking, would it be possible to have that second location as a pop-up, for a limited time? And I know Debbie's comment on it was it's not sustainable to do something like that unless we.
That second location you're talking about, the back?
The back, yeah. But that it would be for $1 per month for 2 years. Now, he has told me in the past, you can ask for whatever you want, even if it seems ridiculous.
Yes.
And I truly thought, oh, there's no way, but why not ask? And what he said, and what I wrote was, until such time as we realize it's feasible to cover the rent for it. But that's really so nebulous. It wasn't acceptable. But what he did say was if you put a certain period of time on it, a limitation where we can review it as an option or just agree to walk away, we're done. And so I did include that so that it would be a pop-up that would be for $1 a month for the first year and reviewable at 6-month increments or such time as we decide to go ahead and sign a lease for it. Like if everything is really going super and the rent is covered, we want the security of having a lease. At that time, as a board, we can discuss that and approach them, and we will have that option. Meanwhile, also I wrote in the option that if somebody else comes along, we have everything humming along and we're getting it for $1 a month, and they say, geez, we'd like that, we'll go ahead and offer you rent, lease, let's do it. I said, we would request the first option to pick it up. If
user,
you have somebody else,
Yeah.
then we request that first option. He didn't say no. You know, he's not the one who says yes, but he is also a person who would make a recommendation. And if he thought it was totally impossible, then he would have said that wouldn't work for him. So, you know, they'll consider it and they'll do what they want. If we get the front, what I call 101A, we're still doing very well because it's 3 feet wider than this, and we're not paying for hallways. It's $712 less, but we don't get Stella, who pays $600. So we're $700 ahead if we take that place, but we have to subtract, you know, the fact that we're not going to be getting Stella with that. So it would really be nice to have the back area so she can be part of what we're doing. That means we are ahead $112. No matter how you look at it, rent-wise, it's still ahead. Of course, the big issue is volunteers. So we're discussing volunteers now. We did do a survey, and of the survey, I don't know, did everybody here do the survey? Okay.
I looked at it.
So what happened with the survey was you could click either to answer the survey or to volunteer. And if you tried to go back, you couldn't go back. The link was closed to you. You couldn't vote again, and you couldn't go to the survey. So there were 28 people who elected to go ahead and, wait, is it 27 votes? I'll give it to you here. Here, I'll take me one of them. We'll see how many.
Do you want to give me this?
No, I guess I didn't. Okay, so out of 27, 26 voted yes, and 1 said no. So that's encouraging that they felt it was a good thing. And there were people who did volunteer, but it wasn't that many. I wanted people to actually literally go on there and have a calendar, but I guess that would have been too much really for Sharon to set up at a short notice. So we can do that in the future, and we should set up the calendar so it goes way into the future and people can sign up. But on the survey, people were asked, would you?
I don't remember doing this.
No, you didn't. Okay. Well, it was a letter that was sent out to the whole membership, and 27 people answered on the survey.
That's
Now,
not a lot.
There were other people, well, but of those 27,
That wasn't
26
me.
said yes. There were also people who elected to go ahead and volunteer. They said they volunteered first and they couldn't get back to the questionnaire. So, you know, it would be nice just for I'm going to encourage people. I'll have surveys, you know, on Thursday, but it would be nice, I think, now that we're sending out a survey, maybe we could have that section so that you can't have a survey that is too many questions, but you can have a few things, and I think that would be.
But you should be able to go back.
Well, it would have been
Maybe that
nice, but
went
I didn't
into-
make it. That was Sharon. So
If it was sent to the general membership, it may not have gotten into my inbox, but in the social inbox, which I immediately erase.
and we can send it out again, and make sure that the people who already did fill it out, and I don't know how to do this. Sharon will know how to do that. That if they've already, or maybe just send this survey out again so that it is recorded already. Those 27 who did won't be able to get on that. I don't know. It's too complicated right now for me to figure it out. I'll talk to Sharon and see if we can send it out yet again. But it was heartening. I think that's 26 out of 27 is encouraging. And I know that there are obstacles, but I think, I mean, you know, it scares the bejesus out of me. The whole thing does. And yet, if we don't do it, I know that this place isn't sustainable because we're just not getting, we knew we wouldn't get traffic, but we did think that we would have a sign, you know, and without a sign or the kind of support that we get online, this way we can use their website. We'll be right there at the parking lot. People will see us. We stand a better chance that people will see us and that people will think that there's value to it and they'll volunteer. So that's, so did everybody look at I sent a summary of the proposal to everybody. Has anybody looked at it?
The
I've looked at
proposal
it.
for what?
Proposal for the move,
Yeah.
the proposal for that, okay. So the summary includes something else that I wanted to address, that there would be 11 solo show opportunities for people just in the front area of 101A. And I took Darlene's comment, and I look at it as a suggestion that we really do need to have a general membership wall. And so there is that, so that there would be and it's great because now there are all the people who would be in the general show that will be obligated and get the opportunity to sit. You know, and I think we'll have plenty of shifts that everybody will get a chance to sit every month.
You realize if every month there's a show, that's gonna be twice the amount of work.
Well, I don't know
For
that it'll be
sharing
once
for
a month.
free.
I don't know.
Okay.
And by the way, it may not be Sharon. I have yet something else. This is I've talked to somebody with a company called Momentum Workforce, and they pay interns up to, well, they pay anywhere from a year, 6 months to a year. I will, you want to take a look at that. There's a list of things. It is printed on the back. These are people who are looking for, they'd love to work in a gallery, but they need the skills and they need a referral.
Yeah, you wrote, I think you wrote us about it.
I may have written it, but this is the letter from Momentum Workforce. And she lists, I asked her for this particular meeting, list what we have here. So we do need janitorial, organizational. We need the art exhibit set up and takedown and the hands-on work around it. So I don't want Sharon to have to do this all the time. It's something that we're paying her $35, you know, or it's 32 plus the benefits. We need to spend her time wisely. And I think these are opportunities for our members, or at the very least for someone who wants the experience and is willing to be trained and be there consistently. These are also people, retail and customer service. Sometimes we may, and we'll see what, you know, how many people they have. I would like somebody to be trained and be at the art center. You know, let's say if it's the new art center, if it's here, then to keep the doors open one way or the other to work regularly.
That'd be good to try them first.
It would be nice. Yeah, good idea. So, and then they also do data entry, you know, another issue that is very time consuming for Sharon, and we need someone to do it. So
What,
they,
animal care and veterinarian?
yeah, that for sure, huh? Yeah. Well, as I said, there are a number of things that are relevant to BAA, and there are a number of things that are not.
So they get paid by
They get
these
paid by
people
Momentum Workforce.
and the
pay them.
benefits and everything.
Yeah, they
Insurance.
And
Insurance.
workers' comp, we're not,
Right.
we would not
We will
incur
have a
costs.
contract to that effect.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's the same with workforce development of BC.
So there are a few of those, and then there's also, and we talked about going to different schools and getting interns that way. This is something that we would want to oversee because I know Sharon has no interest in training people again and again, but we have an interest in it because we need to save money. And if we don't initiate programs like this that work now, when the money is spent, we will just close down. You know, we have to figure this out now, which is why I'm bringing it up. And even before this location appeared, I wasn't ready to start going through all this chaos, but that location happens to be a wonderful one. And we were talking about revamping our protocol for the way we do our work. So it seems like a perfect fit. Inez.
Regarding the volunteers, this has been percolating. The volunteers, many of them would be completely new,
Yeah.
but they have to be trained. I can't remember when, and if it was here or it was in response to a Zoom meeting, but I strongly recommend that a video be made of Sharon giving the instructions. We have Steve.
Perfect.
He could
You're
be
absolutely right.
And I mean, this was offered a month and a half ago, and here it is, the end of March, and we're still saying, but they have to be trained.
Well, it's
Okay,
imminent.
we have Steve, we have Sharon. We don't want Sharon to waste her time doing the menial stuff then let's get the creative juices and the executive decisions being taken
Right.
so that we give the order yesterday.
Mhm.
And when we implement this thing with the volunteers, this is in place.
Right.
The video training is in place.
Yeah, and Steve could do it.
Yeah, Steve can do it with me. I've talked to him about this, so it's a great,
Okay.
great to be on record. Do we need to vote on it to make it an official thing? We'll do it. You vote for it, okay?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Brilliant, because I was gonna say
Yeah.
Sharon needs to train some other people to train,
Well,
but this is,
yeah, and I know
This
it's
is
gonna,
better.
it will change. You know, we'll be doing things one way and then we'll change the protocol. But now that we are gonna have volunteers with credit, they need to know how we record that. So when Mary has an idea and talks to Nolan and Sharon about how we track it, then that's something should be in, these are new things. So we should be putting that in our training, right?
I
Okay.
had some questions on this proposal. Are you gonna entertain questions?
Well, there's one more thing that we do have a budget going. And I know that was a concern of yours. And I
That
wanted
wasn't one of my
Oh,
questions.
Well, I want to
actually.
bring it up because Mary and Laura and I have been, and who else? There's another person, Aaron, have been reviewing various, listing various things that need to be on the budget. So if you have things that are your concerns, we'll put it on the budget. We
Well,
don't
I
even
said-
know if we've got it yet, and I've been, more than spinning my wheels trying to put a proposal
I
together.
sent a whole list to Nolan, but you didn't
Okay.
address them.
Okay, well then forward it to me. We'll put it on that list. Are you saying that in the meeting I didn't address your
Oh, I
questions?
think,
No, you didn't.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
already sent that. Yeah.
Okay, well, send it again.
Yeah.
It keeps going back,
But
back,
I do
back.
have some questions.
Okay, hold on,
this.
Kathy.
So
Saturday.
last meeting you made me part of a committee, and I got that Inez was part, but I didn't. Find
Inez.
Inez,
Inez.
thank you. And no, you volunteered, and it's 3.
And who was the other person? That's what I didn't.
The
know.
budget
Darlene,
The
Me.
budget committee, I said I'd
the,
be.
not the budget.
No, I
committee.
can't,
Oh,
I
never
can't
mind.
handle it.
Oversight committee
No.
The
for,
oversight committee is
for
Ashley,
board
Darlene,
members. And who?
Nolan.
Ashley, Darlene,
For the bylaws.
Nolan,
bylaw
and
thing.
I. There's 4 of us.
Well,
and
Oversight.
that came in
there's
wet.
plenty.
No,
Not
it was
bylaws.
the
We
it was
didn't need it.
the uninterested oversight of when board members are paid for doing services.
Oh,
That's
no.
the one.
Oh.
The oversight the oversight committee is oversight
But the-
over the workings of the board and the organization, but it's not that.
The oversight
Sorry.
committee was set up to oversee and discuss what Sharon specifically was doing. It wasn't
No.
set up to be,
Just
well, I
No,
set it
that
up,
was, that
so-
was part.
That's
No,
all
that was
changed.
part of it, because there were so many things. The appointment of Sharon's aide.
right.
There were so many.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember, there were so many layers
Right.
and underlayers of organizational problems that's when we formed the oversight committee. And the oversight committee is the task is not about money, and it's not about Sharon, and it's not about hiring. It's about overseeing and ensuring that the many layers that make the organization work the way it works
And
are
not,
kept.
and not lose
Well,
nonprofit
It's
status.
meant to be recommendations for that, because this is
Yes.
what you're talking about, is the executive committee is to do that. So not everything gets submitted to what you're talking about. I don't know exactly how
Submitted
far
to
you
what
think
I'm
it goes.
talking
I'm not quite, I'm unclear exactly what you think the oversight committee does. It doesn't take the place of the executive committee.
Of course not.
Okay, good. So,
But the one I was talking about was because Aaron taught a class and Ashley is the contractor
could you lean back, Darlene?
on the
Oh, I'm sorry.
grant.
Sorry.
That in order to solve the problem, I brought it up last meeting, that we have some kind of committee that, uninterested committee that oversees when it's suitable for that to happen.
You mean just the vibe well?
No.
No, if a person
board
gets
members are
compensated.
paid,
compensation.
So she's a board member, she taught a class, and if all the other teachers are being paid, she should be paid too.
And this was the issue that,
This was last
no, what I'm
meeting.
saying is that Debbie just brought up this thing about the bylaws, and you're right. We were
It's
talking about making amendments specifically only for that. And I was very, very clear, this is not a bylaws revision
No.
in
It's an
total.
amendment.
It is specifically as an amendment regarding compensation. And do you have a proposal?
No, last time you put Inez and I on.
Inez.
Sorry, Inez. I'm gonna get it.
And I know that I was to sit
Inez.
as a
Think Italy.
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 Inez. And it was me, and there was another person.
Well,
that
it was, I know
didn't-
who it was because I reviewed the minutes.
Okay.
And it's Sharon and myself. I am not a voting member of that, but I am a present member of that.
Very good.
I just want to point out again, bylaws cannot be changed here.
Right, we can make recommendations and then we need to talk to and ask the members to vote on that because they don't get changed, period. Yeah, okay.
Well,
Okay.
luckily, Darlene, I come with about 30 years of corporate experience.
Yeah. So I'm
I
going to
don't
move
always
on.
get it
I
right.
want to move on
Oh,
to
no, that's okay.
Darlene's.
It's just, I just know
Darlene
about
had
that.
some concerns and I'd like to hear what they are. Why don't you
Well,
go for it?
the first one, on page, under number 8, or membership and organizational strength, 191 total members, actually 152 artist members, which is probably the ones that we'd be focused on. Do you have any idea how many unique members, when I say unique, in other words, if Debbie participates in something 2 or 3 times, she's only one member. So how many unique members are participating in our shows, in our salons, the Thursday night salons, and in classes?
That's a good question. That's a good question. And what's your next concern? And I'm saying it out loud this way so that the recording will get a hold of it and then we will call it an action item. It's a great question.
Nice. Hold on, because I numbered them. Well, I'll give you number 3 because I can't find number 2 right now. On number 7, studio and cultural programming, the studio classes, we can only have like 49 point something percent
Yeah.
of the overall
We're
square footage.
We're calling them instruction, by the way. They are no longer to be called classes
Okay, but whatever you call them, we can't have more than
of the floor space.
49%, otherwise we start to incur that very hefty fee. Can that place the first place? I'm not even talking about the second one.
You're talking about 101A.
A.
Yeah, right.
Can those classes work in 49%
Okay.
of our 800
Brilliant
square feet?
question. Because what we'll do is we will time how many hours we're open and how many minutes that flexible space is actually meant for instruction. Now, because it's not tables that we just leave up. We change that floor plan. Sometimes it's open. Sometimes there are chairs for people to be listening to someone. Sometimes people working around a table like this, they're not being taught, they're creating artwork. It's not a class. So there are times, and we will time, in other words, I don't think
But
it's a
class
problem.
is education, and education is that 50%.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Is that we're going to see what percentage of the floor space is used for how long, because it's not always there. It's only there usually for 3 hours at a time per week. So for instance, last night we had a 3-hour class.
Okay.
That's 3 hours. And then on Saturday we'll have another 3 hours, that's 6. And we have drawing studios, so that's another 3, that's 9.
From what I understand, that fee isn't on a time basis, it's on a square foot basis.
Right, and that's why it doesn't really apply to us, because we don't leave those tables out. So if it actually is like a square foot, those tables aren't out unless we use them and then we put them away. That's what we always do. And
Okay.
that's why they didn't charge us a fee, because they saw that when you're in a dive shop and you teach diving, you don't call that education. That's one of the things that goes along with a dive shop. Surfing, same thing. A surf shop teaches surfing, but they're not called an educational institution. So when artists get together and we create artwork, it's like I might say, Nolan, show me how to do that thing, would you? And then for 5 seconds, he's showing me what he just did. It's inappropriate. That's why they didn't charge us.
Okay, and the third, I thought, are we at 30%, 30, 70 for commissions? I thought we were at higher.
30.
We are
well,
30?
I thought we were, G2 does 25%.
We should be higher.
I think that's a great idea. What do you think? Anybody have a reference? What do you think?
I agree.
I agree.
I think
I don't know of any gallery that charges more. I'm not talking about Sullivan Gauss, but galleries like Vita or
Gallery
30.
What is
Gallery 113
Vita's
charges 40.
But
Gallery
BAA
113 charges
I do
40.
not. You have a lot of knowledge about Gallery 113. I've never been in that place.
I'm sorry, but
Okay,
I'm just
so-
saying, you said you don't know about any gallery.
Oh, okay. Crosstalk. Enough of that.
so,
Let her complete it. Don't interrupt her.
The Vista Gallery in La Cumbre, there are 3 in one corner. All of them charge 30%.
So 30 is good.
Sullivan Gauss, which is one of the most respected galleries in this area, charges 30.
Okay.
And for BAA and the downstairs charges 25. So for BAA to charge more than established galleries and more than the sister organization of BAA seems a little.
Well, we don't charge more. Is that what you saw?
No,
Or it's not.
It's being recommended that it be higher than 30.
Okay.
Okay.
So it
was
would
just
be
my
it was
suggestion.
and we're almost ready to wrap up the meeting.
That was it.
Thank you. And thank you for that.
Just a
Deb.
thought that just came up recently, and it looks like it's outlined
Is this
here.
a different subject?
It's on your, the startup and 6-month operating.
Right.
It's where the harbor is gonna add 3% to
Yeah.
everything, not
Yeah.
just the sales. They're gonna add it to the
Well,
entry
we're
fees.
we're in discussion on that, and
Okay,
by
'cause
we I
that's a
mean
big-
Sharon.
That's a big
No,
nut.
that's it's a good point, but that's not actually going to go down that way because we have a real pit bull in Sharon, and she's not accepting it. And she was very clear about that there are some things that are nonprofit that as a nonprofit we're allowed to do that they can't start charging a percentage on. So she's going to bat for that. I heard it. I read it in a letter. There will be some things that she said she can agree to, but certainly not 3% of everything that we take in.
That blew my
And
socks
I
off. I'll
agree
tell
with you. I think 30% it sounds like a pretty good number. I remember when I was at G2, you had an option that there was a 25% option if you did it at one point, and then it would have been 30, and then everybody was
Never.
okay.
more than
Fine.
25.
Always 25.
Always 25.
Okay. So, are we prepared to vote on 30% for everything we do here, or do we want to discuss it? Make sure Sharon's here so she can make her.
I think if Sharon is involved, I think Sharon should be.
Okay, good. Well, let's revisit. That will be an action item. Action item for next month. But if anybody has any data or some support material, then the vote will wind up being for 30%. We won't probably go to 40, but it's good to know that somebody does.
I did
Kathy?
a little research on this to try and figure out what would be a good percentage. I talked with, and I won't take a lot of time. We can always donate a portion of our commission, but it has to be voluntary. It can't be in writing. So say you're a BAA member and you've had a fabulous show and perhaps sold out. There's that option, and that actually goes towards the donations rather than the sales commission.
So you're saying
so
an official way of doing that.
right, there's an official way of doing that, but and so I told Michelle, I make art for me. I only make it for me. I don't care if it sells, and that I'd be willing to give a larger portion of my proceeds because it's just a plus if it sells.
Well, thank you.
So
That's
I
very
think
kind.
that we should consider that, perhaps donating a portion of it.
And those
But
who
it's
can will
voluntary.
do it, yeah. We can have an official form that somebody can sign, and, thank you for that. Bonnie?
Yeah, I'm okay with the 30% still, but I think our take-in fees are too cheap.
Take-in fees.
Our
Bring-in fees?
like-
Bring in $25, how much is it? $12? The
$12.
ones for the art center are way too low. We would not, downstairs,
Wait.
we would not do that. That was,
Well,
Yeah,
it's still too
downstairs.
low.
It should change.
yeah, we'll have to review that, and I didn't
Yeah.
agree with it when it came,
Oh.
but then I understood, because nobody comes through here, they didn't wanna make it like ridiculous for people, but I agree.
Way too low.
We need to discuss it, for sure, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, another action item to put on the agenda next time.
We're going over 2 hours.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay,
Okay.
so right now I wanted to say one last thing, that of the 11 solo sections that are 6 feet wide, most of them, not all, but they're pretty much, I would like to dedicate one for community value, meaning there's a group called Dance for Humanity, and they dance and they take in money and they give it to some village in Rwanda. Or it can be the Kitten Month for the puppy dogs and the animal rescue they have in April. Kitten Month, we would tell our members, this is going to be Kitten Month, so if you have either paintings on kittens or something you want to donate that's a 2-dimensional print or something, that will take the place of having a member do it, but that different people can donate things and that would go towards that cost. The reason I want to do something like that, and it can be, we can book these in advance, is that they'll pay their $100, they'll have to bring in people who will volunteer to some degree. But it also brings in not only goodwill, but it brings in a lot of people who would want to see what are we doing, for the community. So
Great
it's
idea.
just an idea.
I think that is a great idea to discuss at a much later
Okay.
date and much
And we
more
can
in
do-
depth and
okay.
with more information.
Okay.
2 hours is plenty.
Okay, so at 6:13, is any more comments, particularly anybody? We won't find out about this place even if we're in the running for another week or so, and then they have lots of debate that they go through. But so it's officially let's say 6:14. We're done, adjourned, and we'll see you next week. Wait, do I have
Debbie,
a
will you
motion
help me?
for adjournment?
Yes, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Inez makes the motion, Debbie seconds it,
Do it.
so it's official. All in favor?
I will not be here. I will be in Europe for next meeting if I make it, because I have 3 competency evaluations. Two meetings at the city. Now this one, I'm gone.
You're going to the Arts and Council
Yes,
culture
I am.
meeting. Can you?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, my
So,
question.
no,
They
2 hours is
wanted
plenty.
us to come. Will you fill
As
me in?
many.
I can't
you
come because
can.
I'll be pitching the harbor at that
There
time.
are 2 times, 3 times, 2 in person and 1 virtual.
Right?
And we
Okay.
need to make ourselves be seen.
Yes.
Michelle, did you distribute the email I sent you?
I sent it, but the link that was on there wasn't good, so we have to do it again. And I'm afraid it's tomorrow night, right? Isn't it?
No.
When is it? Oh, Friday.
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. Okay, I'll look at it again, but it didn't work. I sent it and
Okay.
the link was.
Send me the link that I sent you that doesn't work.
Okay.
Because the one I have worked.
Yeah, and I got a letter that did, so. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so this meeting, Marissa, bye-bye.
Here's the rent, that's
Bye,
the-
Marissa. Okay, and so we're gonna have the record. I'm gonna press the record button. Oh dear.
Here's the rent.
There we go. There we are.
Here's the common area.
Oh, you're standing up?
Yeah, and then just-
Do we have an official secretary?
Yeah, we do. We have Marissa. She's our official full-time. You were there. I think you were. Yeah, you were there.
I just wanted to know.
Kathy, could you step forward for a minute? I can't see the screen. Oh, please, I can't see it. Please. Kathy, could you just step forward or back? I see the sign there. I'm supposed to be pressing the button. Stop. stop recording.
So yeah, I would just introduce yourself to it.
God, they've got all these things. Stop cloud recording.